Uh, that okay. We're back with some more. So that's waiting for. Oh my fuck. It's gonna kill me. Sorry, I couldn't stream yesterday. I went to sleep at 4 p.m. So right now, I'm trying to fix the whole debt cancer thing. Support golden square 2. Mm. Any major changes? Mr. Starving stealing. Oh, Jesus Christ. Stealing money off this back. Shh, they're both sleeping. Yeah, we got Bloom, Creative Gamma. No! Oh my god. We got Neville Chamberlain. Bruh. 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 Oh. Bye bye, it's the Coach Nick. Oh. What about that council? Need PP. Need more PP. No, my ass is state. I mean, it's not a state. It's Oh. Right. I'm dead to the frick over Germany by allying Italy. Well, you know, I'm on cavalry. Oh, yeah. Pass. Court Spanish. Brothers could abuse the office of soil products. Absorb the TPDA. Yes, I need more PP. Can't get this right. The German. I'm thinking Axis. Let's see, Italian light tanks. I really don't want to do that though. Oh, why do I have to do naval? Yes, don't want to wait. I mean, I can rename that, do that, do that, do that. I can do that. Well, I don't have to do that. Then I can do the anti-Bolshevist accord. International of proletarian freethinkers. Scrapping out debts. Seize religious property. Fortifying the western frontier. I don't really want to do communists, but yeah, and then I can just do that. I'll go anti-Bolshevism then. Easy, 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 GG, easy. Got some cookies, black and gold. Military police. Am I even producing some other photo? Oh yeah, I am. Okay. Who's garrisoning? I think it's my. There's horse. I don't have any army. Yes. I'm not sure. Okay, cool. That's a lot. Kill. So now I'm going to Jesus Christ. The 120 I can pay off our debts. It's not November, so I'm making sure to avoid any 2D-related content. Jesus Christ, I'm listening. To this inspirational No Nut November speech by Kaiserverse. Frank, he's just gonna sleep for the rest of him. Like, he's gonna expand conscription, but that's not gonna do anything. Wait, doesn't go to freaking war. Yeah, I said frickin'. What are you gonna do about it? Franco can join the Allies? Franco can join the Allies. Jeez. You can go autarky. Oh no, that's national recovery, okay. Autarky is just German for like self-efficiency, I think. Bulgaria approaches the German Reich. You pussies. Hashtag Trump 2020. It's just a joke. Biden 2020. Because make America mediocre again, not absolute shit. Because, yeah. America's pretty bad now. Let's watch a hentai review by on my Euphoria. Hell. Oh yeah, TSF and I got it's pretty bad. Oh, TSF monogatari, so TSFM. Pretty weird. Then first, Purple seems pretty decent. Yeah, usually. Can I get rid of this guy, please? yeah, there's ugly bastard in this. Oh, actually, let's watch this together. Hell yeah. I just need to turn up volume for this. So I can hear the bloody Frankenstein. Which will really do. But I'll turn the volume down. Yes, I have Discord. Music down. Master all the way up. Yeah, okay, that should. Okay. Let's go into YouTube. Let's watch Should You Have to TSF Monogram. It's gonna be pretty dirty hot. Let me do this. No, there's no. Oh, there we go. Here we go.
It was great. There's also a flip side to it. Sometimes those.
Right,
You know what? Hentai's great. But it'd be a love story between an octopus and some magical girls, only succubi who need their daily dosage of man juice in order to survive. Two elder sisters having a love triangle with none other than their little brother, or just straight up pedophilia. Hentai tackles a lot of the fetishes that will prove either too morally depraved or simply physically impossible to perform in live action. And due to the medium's unrestricted nature, just about every scenario you can imagine could be, and probably has been, conjured up in the mind of one of these erotic cartoonists. However, while this creative freedom is great, there's also a flip side to it. Sometimes those
jabs
take what you end up with is just material that only serves to feed a "I can beat my meat" to more disturbing porn than you, sir. Speaking of which, TSF Monogatari. That's what we're talking about today. Takumi was changed into a woman and is fucked here, there, and everywhere this story. Yeah, let's just call it TSF. About a guy named Takumi who one day collapses due to a never-before-seen type of illness. But fear not.
An ambulance is coming.
And a pretty fucking slow one at that. Anyways, after being taken to the hospital, the doctors there then tell Takumi that there's nothing they can do. Except there is, and telling him that he was going to die was just another wholesome doctor prank. In reality, a new type of medicine was conveniently made in the time it took for him to get to the hospital. However, even though it saves his life, it also flips his gender. And so we follow Takumi as he has to learn how to deal with all the things that come with being a woman, such as putting on bras, periods, thinking about boys, frilly clothing, classmates molesting you, almost getting strangled to death, and YouTube makeup tutorials. The first sex scene starts off with Takumi discovering that becoming popular as a woman is a hell whole lot easier than doing it as a man. All you gotta do is just bring the squad with you behind the local 7-Eleven, then drop to your knees and show the gang the practical applications of being able to suck a golf ball through a garden hose.
Oh, fuck yes! This is hot!
However, Takumi is cut short by his longtime friend Steve, who does what any real friend would do, and puts a stop to Takumi's sucking dicks in the McDonald's parking lot. Steve then further proves himself as Takumi's friend as he takes him home, gets him a fresh set of clothes, makes him some hot cocoa, asks about how things are going at home, rapes him. Wait, what? Yeah, you see, Steve thinks that the female Takumi is an imposter, and to bring back his old friend, he decides to rape her, even though it doesn't really help. Okay, it's a bit weird, but let's just roll with it. You can disregard the fact that Takumi is just a guy in a woman's body. The first two sex scenes are actually pretty good. Sure, they're fetish-based, but it's nothing so wild that it would maybe turn you away from what, so far at least, seems like a pretty good scene. Who's that? Oh. From then on, TSF just keeps getting more messed up the further along you get. And once it takes you to the edge of what you can handle and you just sat there like, okay, that was pretty bad. It just one-ups itself. Not that it actually matters, because the people who watch this are the same people who watch stuff like Euphoria. Not because it's actually hot, but rather just for bragging rights of saying that they did. Let's take the last scene in TSF.
How about this, actually?
Sakahara, aka this girl from episode 1, got herself a penis and now rents Takumi as a prostitute. Yes! Her penis is as long as a baseball bat and Takumi is pregnant. Yes, yes! We get an x-ray of the baby as it's getting pummeled by her dick. Yes, yes, yes! And the baby just plops out halfway through and she starts fucking that as well. Yes, 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 yes! You come on, I'm making it up! I'm making it up! You can't fucking watch it because it doesn't fucking exist!
Half of it does.
If you're wondering, if you're wondering what kind of person has the mind to conjure up something so horrific, you'll probably not be too surprised to hear that the author of TSF is none other than Shin Noel. You know, the guy who draws really weird yet good dojins. You know, the guy who wrote Emergence. You know, a really sad hentai that tore people's hearts instead of their dicks. You know.
I'm white. I'm Blanche. I'm Yellow. I'm Red.
I'm fucking addicted to heroin.
In this regard, Shindo L really is a special kind of genius, whether it be through telling stories which seem unfit yet somehow still perfect for the medium, or making grotesque and powerful commentary on the more questionable parts of society. Shindo L consistently manages to subvert our expectations of what is to come from hentai. And while his material always makes for a good read, as evidenced by Metamorphosis, it doesn't necessarily always provide for the best Jack material. And what you're watching right now isn't something as prestigious as a review of TSF, it's just Should You Fap To, where our goal isn't to objectively look at the intricacies of a particular hentai, but rather to find out if you beat your meat to and still look your mum in the eyes. As stated before, at some point when you're watching this, you're going to hit a point where you just say to yourself, yeah, okay, I didn't really like that, that was pretty fucked up. But when you do, just promise me that you don't keep watching under the presumption that it gets better. Because it doesn't. But Hart, just tell us, should we fap to a TSF? It depends, really. Are you the type of person who usually jacks to Guru and is in the mood for something slightly less gross? Sure, go ahead. But if you're one of the more reasonable people here who's just looking for some comfort after another Tinder date left early when you found the poop suck, should you fap to TSF Monogatari? No. Hey guys, so not too long ago, the channel reached 4,000 hours watched, which means that we got submitted for a monetization review. And
I'll begin speaking up if I'm subscribed. Let's see, what do you want to watch? Oh yeah, unfortunately his channel, it got deleted like for a week. One night, not for a week, like a couple weeks ago it got deleted for like a whole day. And it's very unfortunate. Sorry, I'm in the Discord. You should join this Discord. It's pretty epic, but yeah. What should we do next? Yeah, I guess the firefighter one. This is firefighter one, right?
Hey guys, Hart here. Recently it was drawn to my attention that about 8% of my audience are female, yet I myself have only ever made the very male-centered Should You Fap To series. And while I well know that anyone claiming to be a girl online is just that, a guy in real life, I thought, what the hell, let's shoot with the 3 actual female viewers out there by taking a more sensual approach to reviewing hentai with a spin-off of a spin-off series that we're going to call Should You Slave To. Because as someone who's so under-equipped to deal with women that I get uncomfortable around guys with long hair, I'm the perfect pick for a person telling you and your girlfriends what you should and shouldn't flick your bean to. In fact, I cannot think of a single person out there who'd be better suited to taking up the task of reviewing hentai from a female perspective.
What the fuck?
Schlicking, for the uneducated amongst you, is a fancy term for female masturbation, which differs heavily from its much simpler male counterpart. As while a man might spot a silhouette vaguely resembling the female body, and upon visual contact revert his mental state back to the Stone Ages and spontaneously erupt phrases like,
Oh, Grogny Nookie. Grogny Big Nookie.
Nice trade right there. Trade.
You gotta build some character around it.
It's in the comments as well.
What's the
It's
guy's
in the
name?
comments of one of these
What
videos.
sort of personality does he have? Does he have blue eyes, as deep as the Atlantic, and it's easy to get lost in? Does his speckled abs put that of modern-day bodybuilders to shame? Maybe he has a fury, ever-burning passion for a profession which is just as manly as he himself is. Like, maybe he's, a firefighter. And, oh, look, it's the main love interest of today's show. Because Yubisaki Kara Honki no Netsujo is without a doubt one of, if not the most female-oriented hentai that I've ever watched, for reasons that I'll get into in a little bit. At its core, it's a love story between our main characters, Ro and Soma, and the slow, gradual build-up that the two of them have towards creating a stable relationship. At least so I would say, if not for the fact that this thing moves at 183 miles per hour. The hentai spread over 8 episodes, each with about 5 minutes of runtime, and they had a ton of stuff that they wanted to cram in here, and a lot of it is front-loaded in the first couple of episodes, so as to get through it in a timely manner. Because when you have a big looming sign in the animation studio that says minimum 1 sex scene per episode, and you now have less than 5 minutes to make a shoujo lovemaking scene between 2 people that, frankly, barely even know each other, and rape is not involved for once, you're pretty much set up for a jumbled scenario right from the get-go. For example, in the first 3 minutes of the show, we see Ro meet Soma for the first time ever at a mixer, go home to sleep in her apartment, have the apartment burn down as she sleeps, have Soma save her from said apartment as it burns, have Soma convince her post-apartment burning to stay at his house until she can find an alternative, have her move in at Soma, she'd still have her be pretty held back about the whole physical relationships thing. She's placed the apartment up into 2 parts, one that is hers and one that is his. She oversteps the boundary into his, Soma grabs her, she is now convinced, and they start diddling each other.
なんでこうなの？
それはほら、
And that's just the first 3 minutes. So as you might have guessed, because of the blazing speed at which the show moves and the unwritten rule that there has to be at least one naughty scene in each episode, the relationship between the main characters can feel somewhat superficial, at least during the first part of the show. Now, granted, this is somewhat made up for later on as we get some actual development between the two, but those first 3 or so episodes just really left me with an odd taste in my mouth. Most of the smut scenes there just seem really unwarranted considering the love story that they're supposedly trying to deliver. But what about the actual naughty scenes, I hear you ask? Well, this is where the female-centric thing that I mentioned earlier comes into play. You don't get to see why this show warranted the English title of Fire in His Fingertips. A flirty fireman lavishes me with his smoldering gaze.
Oh.
God, that's hot. As all the show's social scenes are very heavily and obviously catered towards a female audience. This comes in the form of, for example, the show not having a single blowjob scene throughout its entire runtime, yet still having it feature tons of scenes of Soma teasing the ever-living fuck out of Joel. The framing during these scenes is also very focused on the guy, so you often get a shot with the main object being his back, arms, chest, or ass. Supposedly you yourself can imagine what it's like getting pinned down and fucked by this quote-unquote flirty fireman. There's also a lot of play with size going on. Soma just towers over Yor and often has her in a sort of protective hug or carries her around bridal style, which I've gotta admit is pretty cute. The animation is another thing I feel I have to mention when talking about this one, as it really is rather unique for a hentai. By anime metrics, it looks like your box standard show that you've seen 5 million times before, but that's just the thing. It looks like an anime. And as someone who considers himself a bit of a hentai connoisseur, when you're in an environment where basically every other show that comes out, almost regardless of which studio is behind it, can be classified by its art style and animation alone as looking like a hentai, that is some of the highest praise that I can give in regards to animation. In fact, that tremendous leap in quality is also what initially inspired me to check out the show, despite the first thing I saw from it being the otherwise somewhat dubious cover art. And if you're sitting out there as a lone guy,
Yeah, the cover art was kind of.
I don't know, Hart. Seems kind of gay to me. I assure you, there is nothing gay about this show. Even if the men are all attracted, it's all still male-on-female action. Sure, it's focused on the guy during the sex scenes, and the whole point of the show is to appeal to women and possibly people of an alternative sexuality. Oh, okay, it sounds a little gay, but trust me, it's not. Look, to help me reach this conclusion, I had a professional homosexual on the case. You will back me up on this. Just take a listen to what he said during our interview. Yo, dude. Sam, tell me straight up, is Yubisaki Kata Honki no Netsujo gay?
Bro, that shit's so gay.
What the fuck? Personally, I like the hentai. Sure, it had its shortcomings, and I am definitely not the target audience. But after you get through the initial surge of exposition dumping, the story takes a more laid-back approach and just settles for telling you a genuine feeling story between two people as they slowly fall for each other and eventually get together. Pair that with some great animation and some smoking hot dudes, and you're just in for an all-around good time. So if you find yourself in the category of people who occasionally enjoy love-filled vanilla hentai without rape, ugly bastards, harems, or shitty haircuts, should you slick to Yubisaki Kata Honki no Netsujo? Yes. You can fap to it too.
I was back to it. Ranch. Ah.
In my opinion, there's very few out there of what I'd like to consider great hentai. Now don't get me wrong, there's a lot of good ones, but when we're talking legendary proportions, the only shows that really come to mind for me are Kuroino, Kanojo x Kanojo x Kanojo, Teen Titans Born on Newgrounds, and, of course, you guessed it, Rants, which despite its flamboyant attitude and old-timey origins, managed to claw its way onto the list by utilizing and excelling at what I'd like to consider the 4 elements completely mandatory to any hentai of such godly status. Cute girls, good animation, a story made better by the fact that what you're watching is a hentai, not worse, and of course, the classic, you know it was coming, lots and lots of industry-grade domestic abuse. Howdy, kid. It's me, your Uncle Hart, back to tell you more about the fantastic and epic world of hentai before your mom comes home to find out I violated the restraining order again. Today's topic of contention is Rants 01, Quest for Hikari, based off the 2013 remake of the original 01 Rants game from 1989. The hentai follows Rants, genius warrior and scumbag extraordinaire, who recently started a quest to find Hikari, the missing daughter of the Blank family. And so now he's Rants on the quest for Hikari. Alongside to help him, he's got his trusty and cheaply bought slave Silk. Together, the two of them get into a wide array of shenanigans and wacky situations in their search for Hikari. While Syl is nice, compassionate, and cute as a button, usually it's Rancho you talked about when whenever someone mentions the show. So what kind of personality does our main character have that garners him so much attention? Well, the montage of him beating up Syl earlier didn't give it away. Allow me to enlighten you by showing you one of my favorite scenes from the original 1994 Ren Sabako no Guardian anime, which I think perfectly encapsulates just what kind of guy this Ren's fellow really is. In one of the first scenes in the anime, we see Rens and Syl encountering a band of bandits about to rape an innocent girl, but she manages to get away and is now pleading for Rens to help her. When the bandits see Rens, they go up to him and tell him to fuck off. He draws his weapon and quickly disposes of all but one of the bandits with his infamous one remaining bandit then drops to his knees and starts begging Rance to spare his life. Now at this point, you might think him pretty ordinary. I've seen this kind of character before. He's just a standard hero archetype. But that's when Rance shows his true colors and goes and painfully twists his sword into the remaining bandit's ear, thus killing him. He then goes back to Syl and tells her to take anything valuable from the now freshly made pile of corpses lying at their feet. And then lastly, he turns towards the woman that he just saved from certain damnation at the hand of these bandits, pushes her to the ground, and rapes her. So, he's kind of a dick. But while Rain certainly is rancid, his personality is also the breath of smug-filled air that ensures the show sticks out as much as it does. Sure, he might be brutish, violent, abrasive, and sometimes just straight up a huge piece of shit. But at the same time, it's all supported by an extremely endearing attitude, as well as an indomitable will to just do whatever the fuck he wants. And as many flaws as he may have, you certainly can't say that he doesn't leave an impression. Manketsu Happening, TSF Monogatari, Seikatsu Shuken, I've watched all of these hentai numerous times, as well as reviewed them on my channel. But I cannot for the life of me tell you the name of any character from those series without looking it up first. Yet the one that just fucking beats up and rapes his only friend in the world just really sticks out to me for whatever odd reason. Do I only remember him because his name is in the title? Maybe, but what I can say for sure is that you can't quite help but just look at Rance and go, man, that guy's a fucking dick. But a cool kind of dick. Now, obviously, you can't just make an interesting main character and have a good show. What do you think this is, an anime? Luckily, though, Rensekari just about dominates every point that makes for a good hentai. There's a bunch of cute girls, each unique in appearance and personality, yet all somehow still equally bangable. The story, while not exactly a narrative miracle, steadily progresses from episode to episode, gives substance beyond the dig of the weak setup that you usually see used to get to the action. And the animation is quite simply just a cut above the rest of what you see in hentai. As well as be a sexy, fighting scene, or an in-betweener, the animation is simply just state-of-the-art. You know what? It's alright when it needs to be. I mentioned earlier that Rensekari is based off a game of the same name, and you can really just tell that the creators had fun with the idea of recreating the Rance game world. One of the first things you see him do in the hentai is just visiting the different shops that are in the game and getting a quick rundown of what their purpose is within the game world. And while this can be written off as just a lazy attempt at adapting something which is, by nature, unadaptable, they oftentimes get pretty creative with their representations. Like when Rance tries stealing food from Patty the Summer and gets shocked because he doesn't have enough money to buy it, or when he keeps whistling Syl to his location even after she's already arrived and she just starts running in circles to make it seem like she's reappearing with each blow of the whistle. I also really liked when he took an item from Patty in the middle of a heated battle, which she is taking part in, mind you. And the first thing she does is just make sure that he pays for it. This is P-Gan Cap. What is this, a hentai or a J-Reg video? And in concoction with some hot smashing and an above-subpar story, it all just rubs off on you as an overall great experience. And I think that's the main takeaway from Reds. Because for whatever reason you may start watching it, what you'll find is hentai that doesn't just show you a bunch of sex scenes and calls it a day, but rather attempts to create a full-fledged experience. And it honestly does a half-decent job at just that. Heck, you can just not pull out your dick to this show and still have an okay time watching it. Nothing amazing, but definitely interesting enough to warrant that you give it a look. And when you then add this show's exquisite sex scenes on top of that pile, what you end up with is just something which very understandably became a lot of people's favorite hentai. If you're looking for something to jerk off to with a charming cast of characters, well-made sex scenes, and a great story to boot, then go play Sengoku Rants. Really do it, you won't regret it. But once you're done playing through what is unambiguously the best Rants game, still yearning for a bit of unadulterated animated Syl abuse, you just so happen to drop by your local hentai dealer and he hands you what looks like an animated prequel to the amazing game that you just played through. Should you fap to Rain So 1, Quest for Ikari?
Yes.
Yes.
I think stream's gonna end here. No. See, it's gone pretty slow, actually. One more thing, please do this. I'll think everything. But 0% resistance. I want a new regime. No. Yeah, but. What? Since when do they own that? Uh, mm, okay. I'm gonna go now do my own stuff. I'll stream tomorrow, maybe for a bit longer. Maybe around the heart vegan videos. Yeah. Office folks, you know. Oh, wow. Then I can bypass this. Bypass. And then I can do it because it's nationals. Bye, children, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.